Imagine that the incarnation of absolute evil, that monster who destroyed the earth and terrorized the universe, returned not to destroy, but as a humble and shy boy with the potential to surpass the gods and succeed the greatest hero of all time. Let us dive into the story of the reincarnation of Majin Buu, a warrior born from a final wish of Goku, destined to be the next guardian of the planet and heir to the supreme hidden strength. Get ready to understand who this young man really is and the divine power he carries in his human soul. Hey clickers, subscribe with the bell activated, comment on the content you want to see on the channel, share this video to help us grow, and leave your hype. This helps us a lot. The trajectory of Uub begins long before his physical birth because his essence goes back to time immemorial of destruction caused by Majin Buu in his original and pure form. It all starts in the year 774 when Goku unleashes the final spirit bomb against Pit Buu on the sacred world of the Kai. At that final instant, the Saiyan makes a sincere wish for that evil energy to be purified and reborn as a good person so that they could fight again one day. King Yema heard this wish and allowed the soul of the villain to reincarnate in a human body on Earth. Uub was born in a small and remote village located on a tropical island to the south, living in conditions of extreme poverty as the eldest of 5 siblings and assuming from an early age the responsibility of helping to support his family. 10 years passed since the defeat of Majin Buu, and the world lived in peace until the arrival of the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament in the year 784. Goku, aware of the rebirth of his rival, registered in the competition exclusively to find the boy. The first meeting between the two occurs in the arena where Uub appears as a 10-year-old boy extremely nervous and shy, insecure about his own capabilities. The difference in experience was brutal, but Goku perceived the latent potential and to awaken the hidden strength of the boy decided to verbally provoke him, insulting his parents and his humble condition. The tactic worked, and the fury of Uub released an aura of impressive power that rivaled the base form of the Saiyan, surprising all the spectators and Z-fighters present. The fight did not have an official winner because Goku interrupted the combat to offer training to the young man, proposing to live in his village to teach him to control his powers and at the same time help his family financially. 10 years passed since the defeat of Majin Buu, and the world lived in peace until the arrival of the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament in the year 784. Goku, aware of the rebirth of his rival, registered in the competition exclusively to find the boy. The first meeting between the two occurs in the arena where Uub appears as a 10-year-old boy extremely nervous and shy, insecure about his own capabilities. The difference in experience was brutal, but Goku perceived the latent potential and to awaken the hidden strength of the boy, decided to verbally provoke him, insulting his parents and his humble condition. The tactic worked, and the fury of Uub released an aura of impressive power that rivaled the base form of the Saiyan, surprising all the spectators and Z-fighters present. The fight did not have an official winner because Goku interrupted the combat to offer training to the young man, proposing to live in his village to teach him to control his powers and at the same time help his family financially. The development of Uub during these years of training was focused on converting his instinctive anger and chaotic energy into controlled combat strength. He started living at the sacred lookout and in desolate places, learning to fly, manipulate ki, and develop martial arts techniques. However, the challenges related to his human origin versus his magical soul soon appeared. Although he had the spirit of a monster, he possessed the fragile body of a human who needed intense physical conditioning to withstand such energy. The narrative advances 5 years after the end of Dragon Ball Z, entering the events of the Dragon Ball GT chronology, where Uub, now 15 years old, became a confident warrior and the main disciple of Goku. His first real great trial occurred during the Saga of Baby, the Tuffle parasite who possessed the body of Vegeta and dominated the Earth. During the invasion of Baby Uub was one of the few who resisted mind control and fought bravely to save his master and the planet. The most crucial moment of this phase was the meeting of Uub with the fat Majin Buu, the kind part that had separated from the evil part years before. Realizing that they could not defeat Baby, separated the fat Majin Buu explained that they were originally a single being and suggested fusion. Uub accepted and the two united again, transforming the young Earthling into a complete and supreme version of himself, often referred to by fans as Majin, although in the work he continues using his original name. This fusion did not alter his physical appearance drastically, except for a more intense aura and muscular increase, but granted him all the magical abilities of Buu, such as the capacity to transform objects into candy and a limited regeneration, besides an exponential increase of fighting power. Even with the fusion, Uub faced difficulties against the final form of baby Vegeta. In an act of risky strategy, he allowed his own candy beam attack to be reflected against himself on purpose to be swallowed by the villain. Inside the body of the enemy, Uub caused internal havoc, attacking the organs and forcing Baby to feel excruciating pain, which bought precious time for Goku to recover his energies and reach the level of Super Saiyan 4. This heroic attitude demonstrated that the young man did not inherit only the strength of Buu, but also the courage and spirit of sacrifice of his master. After the defeat of Baby, he continued to be a defender of Earth, participating in the battles against Super 17 and subsequently against the Shadow Dragons, although his participation was reduced compared to the protagonism of the Saiyans. Parallel to these classic stories, the canonical chronology of Dragon Ball Super introduced a new layer of depth to the existence of Uub. During the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, which occurs chronologically before the end of Dragon Ball Z, a divine secret was revealed about the soul that Uub carries. When original Majin Buu absorbed the Grand Supreme Kai millions of years ago, he also absorbed the divine ki of that deity. When Kid Buu was destroyed and reincarnated in Uub, this divine power was transferred to the human boy. This means that Uub does not possess only the energy of a monster, but also the sacred energy of a supreme god. In a critical moment of this saga, Goku needed energy to defeat the villain Moro, and it was the energy donated by the little Uub still living in his village and guided by the Grand Supreme Kai that provided the final impulse necessary to activate Ultra Instinct and win the battle. The obstacles in the life of Uub were always monumental. He grew up in total misery without access to basic resources, which shaped his humble character and his will to fight for others. The transition from an unknown peasant to the successor of the strongest man in the universe placed on his shoulders an immense psychological pressure. He needed to overcome paralyzing shyness and the fear of hurting people with his uncontrolled power. Furthermore, the fact of carrying the soul of an entity that was once the greatest threat of the cosmos brings a unique existential complexity. He is living proof that origin does not define destiny, because the same soul that decimated galaxies now protects life with fervor. The duality between the destructive power of Kid Buu and the innocence of the human boy is the core of his construction as a character. When analyzing the impact of his appearances, it becomes clear that Uub represents the final legacy of Goku. While Gohan chose the academic path and Goten and Trunks focused on living their youths, Uub was the only one who fully embraced the life of a martial artist and guardian full-time under the direct tutelage of the protagonist. His techniques reflect this mixture of worlds. He uses the Kamehameha learned with his master, but also possesses original techniques like the lightning arrow and the capacity to mimic movements instantly, a characteristic inherited from his past life. His existence closes the cycle of the Majin Buu saga, transforming the greatest mistake of the gods, the creation of Buu, into their greatest victory, the creation of a human protector with divine power. The importance of Uub transcends physical fights. He is the symbol of hope that the Earth can be protected by Earthlings and not only by alien Saiyans. In the future established at the end of the Z series, he becomes the pillar of defense of the planet, allowing Goku to finally rest or depart to other planes of existence, knowing that his home is safe. The fusion with the Fat Buu in GT symbolizes the complete acceptance of all parts of his being, integrating the magical past with the human present. Even in stories where he appears little, like in the movies or in intermediate sagas of Super, his presence is always treated with reverence by the wisest characters like Dende and the Kais, who recognize in him the potential to surpass any known warrior if properly trained. And you, what do you think of the future of this incredible warrior? Does Uub have what it takes to permanently assume the mantle of protagonist in some new saga, or does he work better as the secret trump card of the Z Fighters? His evolution from a shy boy to a master of martial arts is one of the best character constructions of the entire franchise. I want to know your sincere opinion in the comments below, because it is fundamental for us. If you enjoyed knowing all the details about the life, the origin, and the destiny of the heir of Goku, do not forget to leave your like right now. Share this content with that friend of yours who is a fan of Dragon Ball and needs to know that Uub is much more powerful than he seems. Your interaction keeps the channel alive and strong. Thanks.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret.